All right. Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
And
therapist.
together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Brad, I've had a couple people that this subject has come up, and in the end, we kind of assumed that it might be costochondritis, so we thought, you know what, let's do a video.
Sure. Costochondritis.
Yeah, let's break down the word.
Sure.
Brad, costo, what does that stand for?
Refers to the rib.
That, right, rib. Chondro refers to cartilage,
Yep.
and then the itis refers to
Inflammation.
inflammation. So
So we got inflammation of cartilage near the ribs.
the junction between the cartilage and the ribs.
All right.
And Matt, this is something you may actually want to look at here. So on a normal person here, a normal skeleton, you've got the ribs that come around, and then right here, this part is actually made out of cartilage. It's not a rib itself. And where the rib meets the cartilage, that's the costochondritis, or that's where the costochondritis often occurs.
Sure.
Right at that junction.
So this tissue here is cartilage, and it
Yeah.
allows the rib cage to expand and contract and gives it that flexibility. and ease.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So when one of the most telltale signs of costochondritis is when you push. It's the fourth, fifth, and sixth ribs. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth, fifth, and sixth. And generally, if you push on this junction, so if I went down on me and pushed right here, there would be tenderness there. And that's
Sure.
quite often an indicator that you may have costochondritis. But the number one warning, what's the number one warning, Brad, before we even start with that?
If you're getting this, that's chest pain.
Yes.
And chest pain, you always must rule out a heart problem.
Yeah, you never ignore it, never. I don't care how long you've been having the chest pain, I don't care if you've been having it for months.
Well, then you better even probably get
Yeah,
there.
a little bit sooner.
Right, yeah, you better see this video and say, get it checked out, so you gotta go see the doctor.
And Brad thinks he maybe even had a experience with costochondritis. Why don't you tell your story real
You
quick?
better
Brad?
believe it, I experienced chest pain, the first time I felt it was about 2 years ago, rolling on an exercise ball, and you've probably seen our videos where I lay on the ball to do some exercises, and I felt it. It's like, God, I got pain right here with that. I didn't worry about it, and it kind of lasted for, on and off for a few weeks, and it might have been a couple months, I don't know. And
That sounds exactly like costochondritis.
actually, on my 50th birthday, I was out playing with the kids, playing football, and I was throwing this football as hard as I could, which I rarely do, and pretending I was Aaron Rodgers,
Who's he?
Anyways, that night I woke up at 3 in the morning and I had this chest pain on the right hand side, and it's like, oh, and it kind of hurt a little bit to breathe, and I tell my wife and she gets excited. The next thing you know, we're going to the emergency room, and it's like, oh geez, and you get in there and they put oxygen on me and they give me this and that, and they got me laid out and they're testing for everything, and I stayed there the whole night and half the next day, and they
Okay.
came back and they said, you've got nothing wrong with your heart.
Right. So, and that's what we want all of you to make sure that you've done.
Right, you
And
gotta
after-
know that first.
After that's been ruled out, if they think it is costochondritis, which, by the way, just to give you some of the characteristics of it, it more often than not is on the left side than the right side.
Sure.
Often is caused by an arm movement
Mhm.
or mild trauma. It could be preceded by an infection
Sure.
or upper respiratory infection, but a lot of times, mild trauma would probably be that rolling on the ball that
Right.
you did. So if the other thing is, it tends to be more in adolescence, Brad, which maybe fits with you.
Oh yeah, I'm adolescence.
A lot of common in children 10 to 21 years old, females more than males, 70
Sure.
to 30%, which was surprising to me.
Yeah.
I've seen one guy with it that had it, and his actually ended up being an infection, which is less common, but if it keeps persisting, I would talk to your doctor about whether or not you do have to have blood work done.
Mhm.
Because in this guy, it was just such a mystery, and it ended up he had an infection, they had to put him on an antibiotic.
Sure.
But normally the treatment, Brad, is just pretty, mild, pretty passive. Ibuprofen
Mhm.
to try to, get the inflammation down. Heat or ice, either one is fine.
Right.
And really, you're gonna have to hold off on performing any exercise right now.
That irritated.
Down. The vast majority of cases, they tend to go away on their own,
Mhm.
but it's kind of a little bit hard for someone who's heavy into exercise to hold off that long.
Right.
I would recommend doing the things that you can do
Yeah.
without firing it up.
Right. But
So-
I want to finish my story, Bob.
Oh, geez, yeah, thank God.
So so it wasn't my heart, and the biggest thing about that was I left there feeling so relaxed to know that
Right.
everything tested, go to my heart, blah, blah, blah. It's probably just, you know, and I was trying to think what it was, and I thought about throwing the football and the previous pain, the mechanical problems with the ribs. So it made a lot more sense. I was so more relaxed and did not have to worry about that. Geez, you know, maybe I'm gonna wake up dead or something, a heart
It's
attack.
possible in your case, even though in what you did too, that you sometimes can strain the muscles between the ribs too.
Sure.
In,
Yeah.
in either case, the whole scenario is the same,
Right.
or how you're gonna treat it.
Mhm.
And so, costochondritis, look it up if you, but again, you know, please heed our warning, you're gonna wanna go and see the doctor first, it's not something you ignore when you have chest pain.
Right.
Brad, you know, Brad's a physical therapist and he didn't ignore it.
You better believe it. I went in there, got it checked out, and this is a nice skeleton,
I think
Bob.
he fell asleep while you were
Yeah,
telling your
yeah,
story.
look at this. We can hear this kind of talk. See you guys later.
All right,
Yeah,
bye.
subscribe to us.